Yo, what's poppin', guys? Welcome back to another training recap. We're continuing on with the IGC and my second trade. So we're in the recap of covering up 3 trades that I made this week. If you haven't seen the first one on IGC, a clear bounce short that I kind of messed up, make sure to watch that one. I have some very nice lessons in that. Now let's get into to Friday's trading. So I didn't trade anything on Thursday. Didn't particularly see anything that was within my taste. We had MBEV going crazy on Tuesday. Made me kind of scared of trading any pot related, and especially as I'm a short bias trader, I didn't have a niche, or I didn't have an edge in any sort. And of course, I'm going to look to get more able to buy some as well. But I have to focus on some strategies at once. I can't be all over the place. So we had MBEV running on Thursday. We had actually not IGC running such much or that much. I was looking into it because it was bouncing off or gapping up, and I had been playing it the day before. But basically, kind of noticing that this was in sympathy with NBEV, but was looking into it just for the fun part. And the day before, I had saw some sketchy bids and ask on the level 2. And I ended up looking more into the level 2 and all that stuff in pre-market, and I saw some sketchy action at that time, but didn't care too much. But then, as we got into Friday, I decided to kind of scalp it, because the day before, as of Tuesday, as you know, I wasn't secure of what to do. And all that stuff. We had so many stocks running, and I did not want to get into the FOMO mentality and all that stuff. I took actually some kind of time off from watching the market so intensely to just look at how I can improve my trading game. So what I basically stumbled across was tape reading. And I just, after that moment when I stumbled across tape reading, I started to read tape for, I don't know, 3 hours straight on Thursday on MBEV and all that stuff, but not trading it. And recognizing also that if you read tape on pre-market, it's much easier to see all the sketchy fraud kind of things, because stuff doesn't move that quick. So and why I'm laughing is because I based a trade out of this. And my plan was to tape read or read tape, analyze it, and look for big sellers to enter and risk half day. Basically, why I'm laughing at this particular plan is because it's kind of impulsive. But it made me remember that trading is a fun game. And that is something so key, because you have to forget about the money, because if you only think about the money, you're never going to become successful. That is for real my key thinking. I've been stuck of the money mentality for quite a while now, and I totally forgot why I got into the trading in the first place. But the IGC tape reading got me back to remembering, hey man, I know why I want to trade, because it's so freaking fun. It's you get so freaking pumped when you write about a thesis. That's why I want to trade. This is something that I love doing, and this is, if I get paid for doing this, oh man, I can't be a happier man than this. So IGC was kind of a forced trade, but the reward that it gave me, mentally, was totally worth it. Doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to take so much tape reading trades anymore. But the tape reading also added one unique skill to my trading playbook. So I'm totally grateful for recognizing tape reading. Was such a key indicator that was missing in my trading skill book. But let's get into the trade. Enough ranting about emotions and guru furu stuff. Uh, so what I saw was a 50K seller and making this quote unquote big drop. So what I did was just as my plan, I entered right after him, and I kind of chased some, but I didn't want to miss out if he was just going to basically drop everything, like as if they had an ATM that I had missed in the filings, even though I read it like 3 times. If it was something like that, so I chased a little. I risked high of day, not a big deal, and I had a small position. So all the mental aspects or the emotional aspects was kind of removed. So I was somewhere in a space of mentality where I said, hey, I'm willing to lose, I don't know, 50 bucks on this. It's just so fun, and I really think that this is going to work out. And I said, hey, someone with 50K seller, times the price is going to have some influence on this stock. It gotta be some meaning behind it. And I started to think, hey, what if that is a short seller? Then of course it's going to be something drastic happening. And it did. I saw some more action of pumping up size, another 10K, 20K, 19K, 15K. So I was getting confident as the time went, so I didn't stress out, and I said, hey, I'm going to respect my risk this time, because if you watched the previous video, I didn't quite respect my risk up here, and I had learned something from that, even though I hadn't reviewed it orally or by speaking out. So I respected my risk. Props for that. First off, you've got to remember to give yourself props. So props for respecting my risk. Totally perfect. Kept on reading tape. Then my cover plan was to cover at the 220-ish, because this was somewhat of a support area from the pre-market, and also I didn't want to swing it too much, because I kind of, even though I play this, I recognize that this is not my bread and butter. So I said, hey, I'm going to be very satisfied if we get down to 220. But the real core to my covering would be that I was going to cover as momentum was changing on the tape. So let's say when that big seller that I think or thought was a short seller, when he was getting back to covering, I would also cover. So that is exactly what happened. I saw that he or she or whoever started to buy some back, or anyone buying just 5K stacks just going off instantly, like bah, 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 like 5 times. So I knew, hey, okay, he's covering quite a lot. So I said, hey, I wanna take half of my position off here. I knew that all these ads or all these seller was not bought back right away. So I said, I give my second half quite a bit more room to go off or to go down or whatever, if he started to sell even more. But then we dropped to 220 approximately, hitting that. And then I saw 20K bid, 25, 20, 10. And I said, hey, hell no, I don't want to be in this anymore. So I covered, and it turns out that I fucking bottom ticked this, and that's amazing. Not only did it bring back some of the fun mentality of trading, it also turns out that I'm just lucky with this one, but it turns out that my thesis worked out well, so I was really glad with this. And then, I didn't look back actually. I just kept on trading. I traded another stock on Friday as well, so I focused in on that instead. And something that I want to The key lessons from this, real quick, just within 1 minute, is that sure, tape reading could be a skill that is evaluated and taken to my playbook as of trading. That is sure, that is so key. But I probably shouldn't trade with size or any money at all, especially not on the short side, because the commissions is going to eat me up of borrow fees, especially as this early in stage of this strategy, as I don't know what I'm totally doing. So what I'm going to do is basically paper trade tape reading, or try some longs, because then I'm not risking too much commissions and all that stuff. And things that I want to improve on and that I know that I can do better is recognizing the momentum changing and taking a long on it. You know, I've been a really short bias trader, but I'm going to work on looking into the long side as well. And don't get stressed out like, hey, you're focusing on 15 things at once. If I see a key play like a bounce short or a short into resistance, I'm going to take that every day before anything else. This is just a way to help me branch out and start to look at many different directions, how to improve, as long as I'm waiting for other plays. So make sure to check next video. I'm going to talk about CBRP and ATM short that I could have made much more than I did, and how my Thinkorswim and STT software crashed at once. See you then.